What's up, buddy? Long driver. Good to see you.
Yeah, man, good to see you. How you been?
Same old same.
We just saw you, what, a week or so ago?
A little while. Now we're at my place, the T&D Casa. So we'll take a little walk around and give you some of the details of inside of T&D Plumbing. This is our shop, and majority of it is really just emergency parts. We don't really hold a lot of stock here because our guys, we buy packages from our suppliers and get them dropped straight to the site. So this is really only, you know, if we can't get something in time, can't get it delivered in time, we'll come back here and we'll get some parts. We got some fittings and things in the back. We got a little bit of pipe here that we keep, but we really don't keep a lot of stock because A, pricing, B, you know, not that my guys are like that, but you need a part for your house, you're gonna grab it here real quick before you go. So we try to mitigate some of that with not having a lot of stuff on hand. But anyways, plumbing stuff, this is like equipment, spare saws, spare pumps, things like that. Right now it's my little workstation here and my work side on the other side for my trucks. But building a little table and for the conference room, and so I set that stuff up. So it's, pardon the mess, it is fall, so we get in, usually we leave a door open, and a lot of the leaves tend to come on in and hang out more than I'd like them to, but they do, so can't stop that. But yeah, this half is for T&D, the other half is for me. So eventually, when it's, you know, all finished out and nice, I got a little bit of layering to do on the epoxy coats, and then I'll sand it back down. I've got a trim layer that I'm making out of some rough cut wood, and I've got some timber that I'm using outside, railroad timbers, that I'm gonna make the legs with and all, and try and use like the old school peg recess, old shit. So we'll see if we can make something cool out of it, and something that, you know, when my son is old enough, if he decides to, or my daughter decides to be a part of this company, then maybe something they can look back on and say, yeah, you know, this is the history of my family in this table. So
yeah, super cool. I mean, you got everything in this table.
My uncle in here, my dad when he was young. Just that was kind of my dad's attitude a little bit sometimes, you know. And like me, my grandfather, my uncle over here, me and my dad, one of the last things we did together before he got really sick. And then my son, and some of the jobs, some of the billboard stuff that we had, my kids on the machine when they were little, different stuff, something, you know, to think about and spark conversation when it's in the conference room, the meeting conference room in the front. So should be cool, hopefully. If not, it'd be a very expensive firework later. This side over here, this is where I have all my welders. It's a mess because, like I said, I have just entirely too many projects going on all at the same time. Trying to make carbon fiber emblems for the limiteds so that people can buy them from me. It's just a lot of stuff. ADD brain, just doing, you know, 35 projects all at the same time. You can't do nothing one at a time until it's done, so you got to do, you know, piece of this, piece of that. Ford Raptor.
I'm about to say, this is the baby.
Yeah, this is the baby.
But you've had some issues just recently. I remember calling you, what, 2 days ago?
Yep.
You were not a happy camper on
Yeah,
the phone.
so we're doing some experimental stuff with the transmission on this, trying to come up with our own transmission package that will be available through Maryland Performance Products. There's a lot of learning. It's not like the diesels. It is very much more temperamental than the diesel transmission has been so far. But we're getting it. We'll get it. And it will be stronger than anything that I believe is available.
I mean, it's definitely not a stock Raptor.
No,
so tell us a little bit more about this truck.
So this truck is a real Ford Raptor. It was a Raptor R before Raptor Rs were a thing. So this is a twin turbo 5-liter swapped Ford Raptor. It has 1,018 at the wheels. It has full Robbie Woods suspension kit on the front and rear. It is undersprung, currently on 37s, but I have 40s waiting. I just haven't put them under it because I gotta get the transmission back. But it has 40s. 37s run really good. It's like 20 inches in the rear and I think 18 or so in the front. You know, it gets down for, we're also building a suspension bumper. It's a bumper to clear the suspension and 40s. Robbie makes one, but he makes one for his new fenders, and these are his old carbon fiber fenders. Yes, they're real carbon fiber. If I had it to do over again, I would have Line-X'd these first before I put them on. I didn't do it because I was so excited. I finally got my fenders, and just threw them on, threw a nice coat of paint on them so they were good. And the first event, I shot a rock out of the back fender at maybe 150 mile an hour wheel speed, and it came out of the carbon fiber, made a nice little hole you can stick your pinky in, and I'm fixing that. Trying to get another set of fenders from Robbie, but he's doing Dodge things right now, so he's kind of tied up with the Dodge stuff. So, but we'll get it together. I'm sure we will, and should be. This is this is a chaotic project that was started around 5 years ago. The intent was to build this for a, it was a diesel version of Street Outlaws. So hence why it does have a fiberglass front clip, but it has a metal body and it has metal quarters on it so that it would qualify to run in this Street Outlaws event as a street truck. Carbon fiber body panels on everything else. It is designed so that it would have the 6.7 Ford diesel with a 48 full manual valve body and be around 3,000 pounds with me in it. The truck currently is just, it's kind of a sore subject because it was supposed to be done long time ago, and the builder just finally got to the point to where they were like, you know, we're just not going to be able to finish it. We don't know when we'll have the time or the manpower to finish it. It was an electrical issue at first. They didn't know who they were going to get to wire it and everything else, and then come down to the end, and you know, it's only a couple weeks to work to put it back together. And I mean, I don't have I don't have hardly anything that I could just slap on here and be ready for any competition. So very bad subject. This old girl This is my 96. This truck is a 263,000 miles, 7.3. Just minty. Man, looking in and under this truck, you would never ever assume it has over 200,000 miles on it. It is as original as you can get. All the panels still have Ford Motor Company on them. I did put new headlights in it just for the hell of it, but I kept the originals. They're in a box underneath the back right there. I just haven't filed them away. But this thing I bought to put a 6.7 in it, a Ford 6.7. I bought it to put a Ford 6.7 in, and every time I drive it and I turn the old, regular Alpine CD player replacement on there, I turn that up and you crank down the road and you're listening to the old hammers of the Huey going at it, and I can't cut it up. It's such a nice, original, clean truck. I can't bring myself to do it every time I go to rip it apart. I started racing ATVs in motocross, man, feels like forever ago, but when I was around 15, I went to my first event and came back, fought and tried to save some money, and I ended up getting an old 300EX. Went to my first race, and it was a woods race. Had brand new brakes, new sprockets, new chains, everything. Ran that first race at Budds Creek in the woods and obliterated everything I just bought. I mean, it was toast. The brakes were gone, sprockets were ate up, chain was terrible. I needed to replace every single thing that I bought for that bike. And the next time came around, I ran on the motocross track and everything was perfect when I left. And I actually didn't do so bad. So I was like, maybe I should do the motocross thing. Bought a bike, ran a couple events, got into points lead, turned into a thing, won the championship that year. Turn around, 15 years later, and now I'm just kind of collecting all the bikes that I never could afford when I was a kid. This is one of the ones that I really wanted. This is a Roll Design Lobo chassis. This is the only one that Doug Roll ever built to hold a CRF 450 motor in it. This chassis is what's called the 5th Kawasaki. Nobody ever knew. Kawasaki entered into the factory supported racing. They built 4 frames that everyone knew of that were built, and it was a bike and showing up in events and things like this. They didn't know about this one. This one was in a box at the team garage, and in case they ever needed it. Well, long story short, at the end of the contract, one of the riders sold all the bikes before it was time, not knowing that they were supposed to go back to the builder. This one in the box, brand new, never used, and the guy who I bought it from was very close to Doug Roll, and called him up, said, make me some parts, please. And Doug said, I'll do it for you, but nobody else. Well, now, years later, I have the bike, and this is one of my collection that I have. I have several. I have a truck problem, but I have a bike problem too. Oh. I did that. Toolboxes, I've got to buy all this different stuff. I want to put a lift in so I can work on everything in here. But it's like, man, it's one thing after another, and then you start adding up on all the money, and it's like, good Lord. I'll never finish
now,
it.
you've been in business since 1958,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Started from family owned to now
Yep.
you own now. I see all these lockers right here too. So
Yeah,
how
yeah.
many really employees do you have?
So right now we have just over 40. We've had over 85 just after COVID, when inflation kind of spiked at like 7 or 8%, that one big leap that it took after inflation after COVID. And people were like, oh, it's going to go back down in November. And a lot of our contracts that we had signed called us up and were like, hey, we want to try, the owner is trying to push us out until the pricing comes back down so that they can afford the project. And it's like, you do understand that once these companies see that they can make this kind of money, or you'll pay this kind of money for their product, they're not going to take it down. They don't care. Once they see they can make that kind of money, they're going to charge it. They're not going to do a price reduction. This isn't rollback. And so we ended up having to lay off a lot of people right after that happened. And we just, the number that we're at, 43 or 45, something like that right now. It's just easier to maintain. It stinks because you got to work so hard, but at the same time, everybody's got a job, everybody's making a full week's pay. We're actually making money again. So I don't really need to jump back up to the 80 and 100 that I was, I had over 80 and I needed maybe 120 at the time. We've pulled back, changed some things, and we're just steady at plus 40. Not saying I won't go back to it, but I'm definitely going to go back to it slower than we did before, so that we maintain the quality and things. Go into the office. So everything inside is motion or voice activated. So all the lights will come on when you walk under the sensor, or you make some kind of noise in that space where the sensor is. It detects heat and everything else. So the break room, this is the break room here. This is our construction side, utility side over here. And then this over here is our gas services side. We do a lot with the local gas provider, gas and electric provider in Maryland. And here it's Baltimore Gas and Electric. We do a lot of work with them and their subcontractors like Lineal, NPL, Miller Brothers, Miller Pipeline, Ligon, a lot of different guys. So we have 15 or so guys that are just in this division here. And then the utility side is 5 or 6, and then the rest are construction or administrative people. So,
Dang.
yeah. And then this is that front space that I was telling you. This one is on a switch. This is the front space I was telling you about with the foyer, and then this will be where that table will sit. I'm gonna put some chairs around it. Might put like some bench seating up against the windows. Not sure. This is so eventually I'm going to get a loop that I can play on here. That during the day this will stay on, and it'll just play a loop of footage of the company and have the logo of the company in here, and it'll just play for like an hour or so and just re-loop footage over and over and over again, like you see in a lot of the bigger places. We go up to the executive side of things. this is the, I just got to get out. The back side is, I don't feel like talking to anybody, so I'm gonna go out the back. So this is my father when last trip he took to Rome, and that was right before he got really, really sick. He was having issues with, he couldn't speak by this time, and he was having issues with his left arm supporting weight, and that was his last fancy trip. And this was my grandfather. He was something else. They were both something else. They were, even my uncle, everybody who knew my father and my uncle and my grandfather, they see them as really, really good people. They were fun, they were funny, just good people to be around. So, but this is our, and it's also shaping up. Eventually what I want to do is I want to put a nice whiteboard all the way across there so we can do future planning, projects upcoming, and see any issues or whatever. We can keep track of everything on like a dry erase whiteboard. And there is on the fence where do I put another dry erase up there that we can put more info on, or do I cut a nice little window out of that so I can look out into the shop?
I was just thinking a window, man. You need a window up here to kind of look out of the shop. Or like a balcony railing that you can stand out there.
Something you could just look over, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have a mezzanine over here, and we use it to store like, documents and things like that. But, it's a nice little spot. Now, originally I wanted to, with this space, I wanted to put a hot tub up here so that, you get a bad day and you just come out here after everybody leaves and jump in the hot tub. But ended up not doing that. Put, paperwork and such that we didn't want in the offices to sit out here. Now, this door was from our previous office, and it has followed us since we were in our Smallwood location. So that's 3 offices ago. That door's been through a lot of people, and a lot of really good things went through that door. So I've held on to it. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet. We were gonna do, put that in place in my door and all, but it kind of falls the wrong way. It doesn't, it's not gonna be, the hinges be on the wrong side. It'd be facing in versus facing out. So all the history would be facing in. I don't know. I just didn't want to do it. So I think what I'm gonna do is either like put it as a display piece somewhere, as a talking piece, more than anything.
Oh, that'd be super cool.
Yeah. Just to hang it up, like the old original door. So back here, we'll go back here and work our way around. So this office back here, the Miss Kathy, who just retired, this was her space. We have this here currently. Miss Kathy was using it, but it was designated for estimating crews. Currently, my main chief estimator is living in South Carolina. He moved there because his family moved down and he wanted to be close to him anyway. This was designed to be an estimator space, and I'm still kind of building that, so that'll be when I finally get someone that's fits our bill, then that's where they'll be. This is one of the administrators' data stuff in there. This is one of the administrators' offices, and it's actually Miss Kathy's granddaughter, one of her granddaughters, who moved into. We have a couple legacy people that have been in here, and their kids work here, or their grandkids come in, or We've got a handful of that. So it's pretty cool. And then this is the Chief Operations Officer. This is her office. And she has a big old TV like downstairs, and then I have a big old TV downstairs. Now, her office is not complete. She's got everything she needs to operate, but none of the furniture is done. We didn't do it. Like, she still hasn't picked out the furniture, and any dude can tell you, you never pick a chick's furniture because it's never gonna be right. So for my space, I got to pick out my little furniture. So we roll into my office.
Oh yeah, this is definitely
the little cigar lounge over here, right?
Yeah, definitely your office.
So
sure.
just like me, it's got a lot going on. So all the old trophies from the ATVs. So there's, I don't know, 15 years of ATV races all through, and honestly, it's just the ones I could find. I've got so much stuff like all over the place. In my house, I've got another shed that's packed full of, you know, trophies and stuff like that that I've put up over the years. This is another one of my race helmets that I did a long time ago, because I used to airbrush paint stuff, and that was going to be my thing. Was doing that, and it got me a little bit of cash. You know, that was like my side hustle thing, as I wasn't leaving plumbing and going to do somebody's bathroom. Who wants to do that? Like, I do it all day. Why would I want to do your stuff at night? So I did a handful of them, but it just didn't really interest me to do that. So I do it here all day. I don't want to go home and do it too. So a lot of the suppliers and stuff, they bring you, you know, in the wintertime, they'll bring you like whiskey or bourbon or champagne or, you know, wines and stuff. And some of it gets used, some of it's pretty hardcore, and it just sits there. You know, usually you pick it up and you say, "Hi, this is Mario T&D Plumbing, how can I help you?" And, you know, really and truthfully, if you get me on the phone, you've had a problem, you want to talk new business, or we've done business before and you have a new project. I have 14 people in here that answer phones, and not saying that it's not my thing or anything, but majority of the time the phone call isn't for me anyway. We went to a safety green. Majority of my guys wear safety green shirts because of the gang affiliation. Traditionally, all of our shirts, all of these kind of shirts were all a bright red color, and they had the yellow silk screen of T&D Plumbing on it. Well, it got to the point to where we had people approaching our guys and telling them, "Look, I see that you're working. I really appreciate that, but you're wearing the wrong color to be up here." And it's like, okay, well, what should I be wearing? Well, you should not be in that red shirt right now. So it was like, well, I'll leave right now. No, you're good till 4:05, them boys on the porch over there are gonna start shooting. And it was like, okay. So the guy walked across the street, my dude threw all his stuff in the truck and was like, out. I've seen guys shot, you know, literally feet away from me. This one particular job, it was in Sandtown. It's called Sandtown Winchester is the neighborhood. And the homeowner kind of flagged me down, and I went over to talk to her, and she said, "Hey, I think you guys hit my sump pump drain." And I was like, "Let me take a look." So I go over, take a look at it. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you know, it's not my tire. You can clearly see it's not my tire. And we hear these two guys arguing, and both of us look up there at the same time. And as we look at this guy, they're arguing back and forth. He pulls a gun out, puts it to the guy's head, and blows his brains out. And it was like, and she said, he just shot him. I said, damn if he didn't. And guy hit the ground. The other guy just put his piece right back in his pants and just walked right up the street like he just, you know, opened a bag of chips. And the lady said, there's 2 police officers sitting in front of my house right now. I was like, well, obviously they aren't back here. So he didn't care. So, you know, I mean, I've seen, you know, people light up the whole front of a building to get a guy that was running into the house. I mean, there's just crazy things. You know, you find bodies, you go into a house. It's a lot of times we would go install the sewer line into a house before the demolition crews got to the property. And, you know, you go in to open a hole in the basement, you got to walk through the house. So you walk down there and there's a body in the basement. There, you know, you see, it's just a thing. And it's crazy because the things you can get used to in working in this kind of environment, you just get used to it. People breaking in your stuff, people stealing your tools. You get what's called, we call it a Baltimore education. You get a Baltimore education working here very fast, and you learn what to and not to do very quickly. Do I think it's cool or anything? No, but it's just how it is. And everybody's like, you know, oh, The Wire gave a really bad rap to the city, and you know, it's not really how it is. And I can tell you firsthand, it is exactly how it was. When The Wire opens up and they have that scene with the structure, the sculpture there, we worked there. We worked blocks from there. We worked in that same complex, and it is exactly like The Wire depicted.
Trophy number 1, first place 2002.
Yeah, that was.
What happened that day?
So that was the first time I ran the nationals in a full year. So I ran, I don't know, there was 12 races and I went to 9 or 10 of them. But at the time I was 22, and I'm not gonna say I was peak, because I had some more racing after that was pretty good. But everything just fell together, and I had a lot of first place finishes, and I didn't even have half of the support that I had when I decided to semi-retire from national ATV racing. But that year meant a lot to me, because I made a lot of connections that year that led into further opportunities, and I met a lot of the pros. With ATV nationals, the pro guys are just like, you know, attainable celebrities. You can talk to them, they're walking around with everybody. You don't need a special pass to go talk to them. It's just a little different than the dirt bike nationals have really become a cash cow. So there's so much you need to buy. When you buy a race ticket, you get a race ticket, or you get a race ticket with VIP passes. VIP passes get you to go into the pits, and you can walk through and see all the trailers and everything, and see all the bikes and all that kind of stuff, instead of just seeing them race. with ATVs, you get a pass and go in for the weekend. You see everybody's stuff, and they're right there walking alongside you. They'll probably be standing in line trying to get food at the concession stand. It's just a lot tighter, community, family-based racing opportunity than the dirt bikes are, to me, everywhere. $348 feet. I put the old Al Bundy in there with his hand in his pants. 348 feet.
Now, if we rewind the clip back now, we can rewind it down now.
Right.
You kissing the lion.
Yes, yes, yes. Karen got a big old kiss on the lips. Yeah, buddy. Yep, she deserved it. She put her time in there, and she got all happy and excited and just put a good old number down. I just wish she would have did it for the whole weekend, and then maybe we'd have been sitting here with a big old check. But it's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it.
So now, how long have you really been racing and doing this?
So this truck, this is a 2012. I had bought this truck brand new. It's my name, not T&D's name. It was bought for me as a work truck that I could put my own insurance on, and I could, on the way home, I could pick up my kids because my kids were still young. I had my daughter. My daughter was around, but I had just had my son, or I was having a son. And I was like, I'm gonna have 2 kids to carry around in this regular cab truck. This ain't gonna work. So I bought this so that I could, on the way home, pick up my kids from daycare and take them home when I had to. And this, just putting some wheels on it, and just wanted to do some tint and some wheels. That was it. That was all I wanted to do to it. And it turned into, 1,500 horsepower. Actually, it went from that to 800 horsepower, and it was like, well, thousands right there. All I got to do is give it a little spray, maybe change the turbo, and then it, escalated very, very fast after that. So, what led me to do anything to this truck, like I wanted to, right? But I didn't have the money. And what led me to just say, hell with it, I'll make the money somewhere. I need to do this and get it done. My best friend from school, one of my really, really close, he was my best man in my wedding. He was killed really, really traumatically. My buddy always talked about how he wanted to build this Mustang with his dad's motor and do all this different stuff. And someday I'll have that car and I'll have that money and I'll put that motor, my uncle's motor, in the car and everything. And he finally got it. He got the car, he put the motor in it, car ran great, was something else. And him and his fiance decided they were having a baby, and she had some things going on that they needed to get some medications for so that they could have a baby. He was actually going to the grocery store to get her orange juice for her medication, and on the way back, a girl ran into him and killed him instantly. And all the things that he wanted in life, he kind of gave up because, I'll get it again. And I was like, you know what? I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting till I'm gone. I'm doing it now. And doing it while I have the energy and time. And got it first turbo kit went in then, and I think it was in, I put a 366 on this truck. I think it was in for 2 weeks, and I went back to MPD for, I don't know, something. And they were putting a 467 in the owner's truck. And I said, well, why aren't you putting one of these in my truck? Well, we haven't, we're testing it. I said, sounds great. I'll test one too. And we ordered that turbo, put it on the very next week, and man, I'm telling you, this truck with a 467 and dual fuel was arguably the funnest on-road truck. Just, you know, funnest daily you'll have is one of these with a 467 in it and some fuel turned up. Wow. Good times.
Now, what does your wife feel about it?
Well,
I mean, we're going to go get her opinion tonight.
Yeah.
When we meet her, but
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think her feeling is? I'm going to ask her the same question, right? So what do you think she would say to this?
Probably would not agree. She would not agree that it was a valued investment. Would not agree that it was smart money. That you know, there's been plenty of conversations that didn't end well with this truck. But you know, the bills are paid, and I said, you know, my terminology was, if the bills are paid and the kids are happy, and you know, she's got her things, she makes her money, I make mine. If the bills are paid, leave me alone. And yeah, there's a lot of Prada, Gucci, Fendi, a lot of that over here. And she would probably agree that they were better investments than this particular piece of garage art. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah,
maybe she'll change my mind.
Well, let's go meet her now.
Okay. Yep, I agree. Let's take a ride. All right, so now we're at my house, and mi casa. So, Brandon, you had some questions you were thinking about doing for the wife there. Let's see if we can go inside and get her opinion on some of those race truck parts.
I don't think she's gonna be happy about this.
Let's see what the temperature is inside.
What's going on with this BMW over here?
Oh yeah. So this is dubbed the Batmobile here. The Ghost Black M4 comp, M4 comp with the carbon fiber, blah blah blah, carbon fiber roof, fancy Nancy. You know, for a stock vehicle, I would have to say that BMW takes the cake as far as what I've driven. I've driven some supercars and some other stuff, but pound for pound, money-wise and off the ground running, this thing is awesome. Love this car.
Now this is your wife's, right?
So I initially bought it. I went to look at an SUV for my daughter so that she could take it to college. We ended up, I was like, you know, there's no way I'm having another SUV sitting in my driveway while my kid's at school and my wife's gonna drive between two SUVs. Like, I'm done with that, I'm not doing that. So I turned around to leave and I saw this and I was like, ooh, man, I haven't seen one brand new sitting. Let's see what it's, went in, made a hell of a deal. and I came home with it. Leaving the dealership, merging onto the highway, I said, let me see what it'll do. And it's like this long on-ramp. And I just planted that thing and was banging gears, and the shift did beep, beep, beep. And it's like 140 coming on off the on-ramp. And I was like, yeah, I can't have this car. I can't drive this every day because this is going to be a surefire way to jail. So I was like, honey, I got you a new car. So she was like, oh, what? So, you know, she liked it. I like it. She likes it. Whenever I drive it, she's like, why are you taking my car? Whatever. You know what's really cool is this thing has a drift analyzer.
What?
So you put this thing in comp mode, and you can go through your menu into a drift analyzer. It'll take it out of all-wheel drive and put it in rear-wheel drive, and you can drift while this thing tells you more gas, less gas, apply brake, go harder in the turn. It uses all the cameras. It records the footage while you're drifting and tells you how good or bad you're doing, how fast you need to go faster, you need to go slower, you need to. It's super cool.
So how does your neighbors like it?
You know, my neighbors, I got really lucky when it came to the neighbor part. Like, the people that used to living in this house right here really didn't get along with us, and we got some new neighbors, and they're great. He's a, you know, former BMX, you know, like freestyle race champion guy, and, you know, we're motocross people, and we all just kind of mind our own business for the most part. Everybody's really good around here. It's cool.
Well, I mean, it's not dark yet.
Yeah.
Technically, you can start it still.
Well, yes. I don't have a key though. So.
Well, we gotta go talk to the wife anyway.
Yeah,
so I guess
yeah.
when we're
I
in
guess
there
we could get it.
asking your question, because I know that's not gonna
Right.
go over well.
Right.
Maybe we'll grab the key.
Yeah.
And we'll show people what it sounds like.
Yeah. For sure. Let's go inside.
All right.
Where is Coco? So we don't get bombarded by the baby dog. She must still be upstairs. So, you know, mi casa, blah, blah, blah. The new kitchen we installed. There used to be a wall there.
Oh,
Come here, Coco. She's a shy puppy. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, girl. Oh, that's all right. There's the significant other. Hello.
Hey.
While we were filming in the shop, the question came up as to how you felt about my racing vehicle choices. And what your opinion is of the racing, more the money spending part of it. Yeah.
How do you really feel about his hobby with the truck?
I like that he has a hobby because I can see his true passions come out, and that's what draws me to him.
Great
basically.
answer. Great answer.
That was
Way
surprised.
better
Way
than
better
what
than what
we're-
we thought.
Yeah, way better than what we thought was going to come out.
No, I really do enjoy him having a hobby. I mean, really, I can only take him shopping so much. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
There's
so he needs to have
only
his
so many
thing,
pairs
and
of
I have my
Wranglers
thing.
that a guy can buy. She's not into the whole Wrangler square toe boot thing. I do have nicer clothes. I really do. I just don't usually wear them because I ruin clothes working on trucks or working on something like a piece of equipment or whatever. I always try to go to work in like nicer attire And when we're talking about having that 80 plus person crew, I always had the nicer clothes and everything, because I could go downstairs and say, hey, somebody go over there and grab that filter and, you know, change those fuel filters or grease that machine or whatever. And now that we're a little smaller crew, a lot of that stuff gets me to do. I have to do it, or I have to help someone do it. So it usually ends up with a good pair of, you know, $150 pants or a nice, you know, $200 shirt that comes back with grease, epoxy, diesel fuel, yeah, and it cannot come out in the wash. So having to push everything. If it goes 200, I'm gonna find out where it goes to 200.
Well, like being pregnant and getting the phone call that he's wrecked his truck in the Baltimore Harbor Tunnel. Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, yeah, that sucked.
Yes, Mario has many stories of wrecks and whatnot. But one that sticks out for me was a time when he went on an ATV race to, I believe, the West Virginia area. And this was probably 10 or so years ago in summertime.
13 now.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to this race with him. I had started staying home more because we had children at this time. So I get a phone call. I don't remember who it was, but he's at West Virginia University Hospital. And he didn't know who he was. He didn't know how he fell off the bike during this race, but it was catastrophic. Not catastrophic enough that, you know, he had like, you know, a breathing tube or anything like that, but he was pretty banged up. And,
yeah.
And
they thought I was dead.
Yeah, it was really scary, and to be that far away, I mean, that's 4-hour drive, you know, jump in the car, go get it. But I ended up talking to him on the phone, and like he does with most of his racing, riding things, everything's okay, I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'll be okay. See you in a little while.
You don't need to come here and get me, I'll be home. And then he gets home, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
You drove all the way home like that?
Yeah.
And it was... We rehabbed him for the next 4 weeks. I drove to our Outer Banks trip, our summer family trip, because he really was banged up.
I spent 40 days straight on the couch.
So he could get
I couldn't get off the couch. I couldn't. Yeah, I had to get help to the bathroom. I couldn't really support my own weight. Hip damage, nerve damage. I lost a significant chunk of time. I passed out after jumping this triple and making this turn. I lost consciousness going down this hill and
it was really
woke up in the ambulance.
To be on the other side of that phone getting that message. But but Mario's just a risk taker. That is what I've learned of him. If it goes fast and it looks fun, he's going to give it a whirl. So I give him extra hugs and kisses before he leaves the house. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
He told us a little bit about the BMW out there.
Yeah.
So how fast have you been in that?
Not as fast as him. Has he told you how fast he went? Did he tell you I think it was over 150, right? 200. No, right? No. I will tell him I've gone 100.
Yeah. The car's pretty fast. So
back to I like him having a hobby.
Yeah.
I'd maybe like him not to go so fast.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's like a I don't know. My dad was not like that. My dad was very calculated, and you know, he did drive, you know, like anybody. He drove a little fast when it was, you know, time to get home or whatever. But he wasn't going to take a vehicle over 100 or even at 100 would be a lot for my father. you know, it's got 150 on the speedometer. Okay, well, how fast have you had? Oh, I'm 70, 80. Oh, okay. Me, I'm gonna see where that bitch buries. If it'll go and peg the red, I'm gonna peg it. So it, you know, and get it to stick there. So I don't know what it is. I've always had that ever since I was little.
Now, and you guys have kids.
Yes.
So are the kids the same as him?
No. Yes. No.
The one is very early to know. He's a little slower progressing into bikes and motorsports and things like that. The daughter, they like being in the vehicle when we're doing like stupid shit, but but not you know, so far I haven't seen them do it or try to push the limit or something like that. But they kind of giggle a little when we're doing something stupid, you know?
Do I think that they will drive fast and be risk takers? No, I think they're a little bit more like me.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. We'll see. Her space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Space, 100%.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome place.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
The only thing I think of is as you is this little tiny sticker on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Wasn't that nice of me to put that there?
That's all you got, this whole house.
That's
all you buy.
100%. The reason my shed has AC is because I can't do shit in here. Nothing in here.
You go to bed, that's it.
Yeah, I sleep here and I eat here. That's about it. Sometimes eat here.
Listen, so the basement used to be his man cave, but
Yeah.
as we became parents of teenagers,
Yeah.
The teenagers took it over. So
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
You know, you've got
Yeah,
the shop fun. You've always got the shop.
It's a you know,
It's your new man
Peloton workout space. Shout out. My television, my TV, and my surround and everything, but you know, if I sit on the couch, I can't see it because my kid's got shit in the way.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
Well, it's Friday night, so you guys enjoy your date night, I guess, or dinner. Right?
Cool.
You guys going to dinner tonight?
Yeah,
Hopefully,
probably.
I'm looking for a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Love me some red wine.
A little bit of red.
Now, where are we really right now?
So this is, it's in between Sykesville and Eldersburg. Okay, so everybody around here in this neighborhood calls it Eldersburg. Postal code says Sykesville. Okay, which is like just down 32 a smidge to me, but they kind of.
If you're looking at the map, we're like northwest of Baltimore City. So just to kind of
this is
directional.
If you drew an X across Maryland, we are right dead center of that X. That is where Carroll County, Eldersburg, Maryland. So.
And where we are currently, we're about an hour away from DC and an hour away from Baltimore. So somewhat in the middle.
Yeah, traffic-ish. Yeah.
Well, have a good night, guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, appreciate it.